I don't hear it all anymore. I don't either.
I'm picking it up. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as bad as before.
Yeah.
You know, it might be one of those things that, you know, it'll fix itself.
It's really weird.
All we have to do is no dead air in between. Then we
Yeah, just keep talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Never stop talking.
Yeah.
Talking.
Pat's good at that.
Shut up. Okay, it looks like everything's going live. How do I fix that? I wonder why it's doing that. Check. Poop. Oh, that was less. No.
No. Now I got it too.
Check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I got it.
Do I echo?
No.
Nope.
You don't echo. Look at that. It's almost like I'm a professional something. Oh, my God. So I'm trying a new streaming option here tonight, and we've got multiple cameras here, so we're going to see if this works. Holy shit, I hope it works. I should probably get a card into the recorder so I can actually record
That would be a
podcasts.
bummer.
I hear that's kind of important.
That would be really bad.
Doing the whole show.
And I've actually listened to podcasts where they forgot and they had to redo the whole show. And it was like, this was so better on the first take.
Oh.
Yeah.
I've done a couple interviews like that where I'm like, can
remember
we
one.
start over?
Yeah. But you caught it midstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was bad.
Not the whole show.
It was really bad. Okay. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. That was my serious voice. All right, before we begin and before I hit the theme, let's say some thanks to our friends over at Gooder Sunglasses. You're not sure they get the joke? Well, guess what? Let me give you a taste. This is from their own website, introducing frequent Sky Mall shoppers. Do you sob when you heard that Sky Mall went bankrupt in 2015, or did you just find out like us? Either way, pour out a ludicrousy. What the fuck? I teach English. An insanely small airline bottle of liquor, then fuck it. They're really funny glasses and they're really fun stuff, and they like the big words. And these, I think the reason why I picked it, and obviously didn't do my pre-reading of my copy, which is not very smart of me, but I love that they're kind of, making fun of the fact that they kind of look like the old-fashioned blue blockers. And and I've had a lot of people comment on the fact that I look like I'm wearing blue blockers, and that isn't even the new ones, the new styles that are out there. So be sure and check out them. And you can read the words, and then you can make fun of the fact that I, as a full-grown adult male who actually has taught English, cannot pronounce specific words. Great quality, great style, great price. Also, thanks to, you guessed it, Scratch Labs, made from scratch. See how I did that? Hydration, energy, and recovery. Check them out, and trust me, you'll love the flavor, the variety, and the way it makes you feel. Scratchlabs.com. So let's do this. I should have re-recorded. That was just... Fuck it. I got Gooder right.
Yeah. Hard to screw that one up.
Give me time.
Yeah.
and a couple more beers. Oh my gosh. Let me bring the volume down a little bit on that theme. And we will go out there and say that, hey, you guys, we're just 4 days into the tour and I am already exhausted. And I'm not even riding. Yes, as usual, welcome to the Packfiller Podcast. We are live on both YouTube and, well, no, we're not live on Facebook because I just went live on YouTube because we're playing with a new streaming service. I've been playing around, so if it sucks, you can blame me. In on the discussion, the expertly opinionated panel here to provide you with an insight that you can't find anywhere else. For example, Greg Van Avermaet is apparently a potential tour winner.
He got fourth the other day.
On a flat stage?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in it to win it.
Okay, he's faster than you, okay?
Well, shit, no shit. He's faster than me, man. I mean, give me something I don't know. I can't wait. I hoped you picked a full team, by the way, because I want to see that whole team.
Yeah. whoever the top 10 are, I picked them.
Yeah, there we go. In the panel here, he's the closest thing we have to a staff cicerone, and I never learned that word until I dealt with him. Let's welcome Paul Main. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right.
And he's the closest thing we have to Beyonce. Welcome, Karsten Hagen. How are you, dude? Oh, that just went out live. Karsten flipping me off and digging in his ear up to the second knuckle there. I see that we were good, yeah. And he's the closest thing we have to youthful cycling-based potential. Let's welcome back Jackson Bulger. Jackson, how are you, man?
Hey, I'm good.
And I'm your host, the closest thing to cycling the world has to a fat black cat. I'm Pat Bulger. In other words, I am a curse. And I am going to just completely fuck over any riders who have the potential of doing something amazing in this bike race. Gentlemen, we are recording this on September 1st. The 2020 Tour de France is 4 days underway. Tirreno Adriatico starts in 6 days. The Women's Giro starts in 10 days. And the Montreal Grand Prix starts in 12. So, in other words, if it weren't for the actual fact that we're in the midst of a global pandemic, this would be an amazingly exciting time to be a bike racing fan. I hope we can all agree on that one.
Pat.
Yeah.
Montreal's canceled.
Montreal's canceled?
Yeah. Same with Quebec.
Fuck.
Canada.
Yeah, Canada.
Yeah.
Blame Canada.
It's right in the middle of maple syrup producing. I think that was the deal.
You're shitting me.
No, of course I am.
Okay. Like, wait, what? Yeah, because, kind of like Lombardia was. They want everybody. No, it was Milan-San Remo where they wanted everybody up into the hills because there was too much celebrating going on. Oh, shit. So, well, I got all the other races right.
Yeah.
Women's Giro still happening.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys, let's start off with the usual question. Who's been riding? Jackson and Karsten both just went for a visual cue on an audio podcast, even though I do have your screens, but you guys have both been riding consistently?
Yeah.
Brag it up.
Go ahead, Jackson.
Okay. Well, the other day, I did a little indoor session, and then, yeah.
It's too soon.
I know.
It's hot.
It was exactly. It was way too hot. I felt my head throbbing throughout, and it wasn't. I didn't love it. So, like Dad, like you and I texted back and forth. We'll leave it to the colder days right now. I just got out today as well. Got off road a little bit, so that was nice. Hoping to do something tomorrow and Thursday. Yeah.
So I heard you say that you were like shooting for, you're in school full time, even though you're indoor school full time, but you've been trying for like a minimum mileage week or something like that.
I set a goal of 75 miles a week with school and everything. Yeah. I can get kind of short and hard sessions in, and that'll get me up to that mark. So still keeping the fitness up, but maintaining right now.
Yeah, that's all I'm striving for. Karsten, and you're about to brag it up because you just have all the time in the world to ride, right?
Whatever. I've been riding a lot of Zwift because it's been so damn hot and smoky. But I did manage to ride out. I rode with Mike Burdo on Sunday, Mike and Melinda. That was really fun. Just, dude that has been a part of my cycling life since I was about 15. And it was a great ride. And then Saturday did a big ass long ride in the mountains.
Wow.
It was really hot. It was really hot. I ran out of water. I don't know, 3/4 of the way into it, and somehow survived. But yeah, I've just been trying to, instead of just sitting there staring at my computer, getting out and writing. It's just been, I've kind of rediscovered cycling, really.
Yeah. I'm searching for that, I think. I'm starting to kind of get myself, I'm starting to get into, I wouldn't, it's not like it's a rut or anything like that, but it's just, I'm kind of enjoying just a little mix up here, things like that, and doing a little different things. Paul's going to get mad at me because I did go out on my gravel bike a couple times, and I've been enjoying that. But don't think I'm
I don't have.
I'm
a
not
problem
breaking
with
up
that.
the band or anything like that, or something like that. I can only get dropped by you so
the
many
only
times.
time that would upset me is like we plan on doing this race and you went on the gravel ride.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm a little tired for the race.
But I only got two rides in this last week, like a 40-some miler and then a really short ride. It wasn't very impressive, but I got out. So this is the time of year when I don't know. I really want to find a reason to get out more because it's beautiful. It's getting pretty where we live here. Well, it's always pretty where we live here. If you don't look at the meth deals or people's toilets in their front yard or their cars parked in the front yard or things like that. But I'm looking forward to that. Paul, you've been riding?
Same old story. Not as much as I should be or want to. Yeah, I got out only once this weekend. Setting up. My wife wants a little knitting studio in the back, so it's all now it's erected,
Okay.
and now I have to paint and stuff. But
Is this a she shed?
Oh, don't call that for her. No,
Is it separate from the house?
it is separate.
And it's like a little building?
It is a building. It's 12 by 10. So here's the deal.
It's a she shed.
No,
It's a
no,
rent.
I don't want even that title because when I'm hoping she'll get bored because
Someone
it's
burned
too
down my
hot.
she shed.
It's not a shade shed. Quit calling my shade shed. I'm hoping she gets bored with it. It's too hot, too cold, whatever, and she'd rather do it in the house. And then it becomes a he shed.
Yeah, man.
Dave and I have already figured out where we're going to put the bar and where they're going to taps. I've got a sub panel going out there, all kinds of stuff. I've set up the TV. And
I got more clear coat for the top of your bar if you want.
Oh, nice.
There's a good looking version of Karsten right there. He's got his dog on the screen, so I'm letting all the listeners see that instead of Karsten's face.
I figured everybody needed a break.
Yeah. I was wondering something was going on because I remember talking to you about the tour stage this weekend, and then there was nothing like, I'm going riding. Anybody want to go ride? And I was like, oh, shit.
Something happened in the main household.
Yeah, something's up. He's got something going on. Building
it. At least it's not a deck. I'm not.
Hey, I finally got the extra boards.
They're only 8 foot long, though.
I know.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to have to change the pattern of the deck, but that has nothing to do with cycling.
You're just putting crap on top of it anyway, so who cares?
Yeah, exactly. Just so long my wife's happy, I guess. So is anybody looking for some events or challenges like this fall or something ahead, even into 2021? Or is there something you guys are all thinking, this, I'm doing that. That's what I'm going to start training for. Has anybody got anything like that on the horizon?
Crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do, but I just got done talking so somebody else could take over.
What was the question? Sorry.
Anything either this fall or next year that you're like, you know what, I'm going to start focusing on that. That's something in the future that I'm going to get going and put on my calendar.
You know, we've talked a little bit about the Midnight Century. I'd like to do well in that.
Really?
Yeah, I think that'd be kind of fun. Or, I'd like to ride any race right now, I think that's the thing that I'm just really looking forward to is just something to ride competitively in.
Yeah.
I like that goal. Jackson nailed it. I mean, if we actually have racing next year, there's a couple of spring races in Oregon that I love. They're relatively flat and or rolly, piece of cake and cherry pie and dirty circles, and those are fun races for me because I'm fucking huge, and I love doing those races, and if I could be reasonably fit for those, and 50 plus, I'd be stoked.
Yeah. Paul?
Yeah, well, it's all based on next year, and
it is. You're thinking 2021.
Yeah, this is all down the toilet. I mean, we mentioned in last week or 2 weeks ago about doing Coeur d'Alene and Gran Fondo, and you read about it. It's like there's no staging start. It opens up from 7 to 9, and keep your distance and you finish, and there's like a medal. I think you pick it up off the table. The whole idea of a Gran Fondo, to me, and I'm not disparaging, they're trying to make things work, but I'm not going to pay $95.
Yeah.
To go ride in a not group to finish, to grab a medal and not talk to people.
Yeah.
So that's just my take on it. But as in for my goals, I'm already looking forward to Ace from Tur de Bloom.
Oh,
Threw it out because they do that stage race series, so they're thinking about moving Walla Walla into May, and then Tur de Bloom into June, or down a little bit, giving a little bit more buffer for these things to happen because of the COVID.
Yeah.
So that kind of got the juices flowing, and found a guy that I'm going to start doing yoga this.
You're going to do it? You're going to do it through that guy?
Yeah. Yeah, Barry Chapman.
Walla Walla, if Walla Walla happens, I'm all over that one. I love that race.
I don't even know it. 3 days, three stage race, right? Four stage.
2 road races, a time trial, and a crit.
One of the best crits ever.
Really?
Yeah, it's big money, and you can pedal almost all of it.
Wow.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still nervous. I still don't know if I'm ready for the full foray entry back into classic road and crits and things like that. It's been a while. I mean, I've done some in the last years, and I don't know. I've still got that little shithead on my shoulder going, "You suck. This isn't gonna work. You're gonna get dropped. You're gonna spend all that money for fucking nothing." Though. Yeah,
we all suck.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to me. I used to be somebody who thought they were fast, and now I'm somebody who's just like, what?
It could have been a contender.
I know. I've lost what I used to be.
Pet, go home.
Pet, stop crying. That's what Eddie B said to me back in the day. So guys, let's get to the reason why we've gathered here today. The 2020 Tour de France. So far, I do want to mention at the outset, because I don't want people to, number one, accuse me of anything like this, and number two, to bring attention to it, that Lizzie Denigan, if anybody didn't see the course, that finish in that race, that was freaking a brilliantly timed sprint against Marianne Vos. I really wish there were more stages. I wish there was actually a tour, even though there's a plan in the future. And I love that the Giro is going to be its own separate event. And I think women's races needs more stuff like that. But and I'm gonna watch the women's Giro.
How long is the women's Giro? Is it? It's not a 3-week tour, is it?
It is not.
10, I think. 10 days.
We got to look on the schedule here. Women's Giro. Where is it? Where the hell is it? It's on the women's calendar. It is the 11th through the 19th.
Yeah, 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days.
Okay. I mean, we're making progress.
Yeah, baby steps. And it finishes the day before the Worlds. So
what
technically, there is no fucking Worlds. God, everything's getting canceled.
Well, they're thinking about having the Worlds in France now, because it's already set up.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. This last week, it has been confirmed for sure that there will be a Worlds, but it hasn't been confirmed on the location yet.
I know that they were talking about Tuscany or Italy was on the docket for a while there. Is that true? I don't know. I don't know what I'm fucking talking about anymore. I'm just an inexperienced idiot.
I heard rumors of that, but you know how they really can control the roads there. When Grandma goes to get some cookies for her afternoon espresso and pulls out of her driveway in front of the Lombardia, a monument that's been going on for 100 years. Didn't know it was happening. Sorry.
Hey, I'm going to get some cookies. What are you going to do? Hey, I'm going to get a cookie. Fuck you.
Now she's got a great Max Shackman-sized dent in the side of her
Yes, great. Chunk of his collarbones wedged into the tail light.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, we got a bird's wing in the trailer. No, honey, that's Max Shackman's collarbone. Oh, Jesus. So we've had, let's look at the tour. We've had two sprint stages, 1 day of complete carnage. We've had tears of joy. We've had boatloads of climbing. Our first, and I could be incorrect because I've heard people saying that it was the first uphill finish in the first week ever, but I've also heard that it was the first uphill finish in the first week since the 1970s. So, yeah. And we have to admit that you guys, if you've been watching, we've had probably better mask wearing and social distancing than most American grocery stores. It hasn't been perfect, but you can see that people actually give a shit about the future and they want something, to continue on and good news. So, gentlemen, let's get your thoughts. First of all, the riders you had chosen 5 days ago, how are they doing? And let's just start there. Who are the riders you chose, and how are they doing at this point? So I don't know. I don't care who wants to go first, but anybody can go first.
Before we get into that, Sepp fucking Kuss. Holy shit!
Oh, yeah.
We didn't really talk about him, and today he absolutely proved his worth.
He did. Well, I would have picked. In fact, I originally picked Sepp Kuss, but I didn't stick with him because I thought this guy's going to completely blow himself.
Yeah, I don't think he's got the juice for 3 weeks, but
not blow himself, but blow himself up.
Because if he finished that,
did I'd vote for the guy.
It's very important.
Yeah, exactly.
Commas, too, are important.
Yeah, commas could never avoid, never pay.
Let's go eat, Grandma.
A big deal.
Let's go eat, Grandma. See. Commas, punctuations. You should know that. You're an English teacher. I'm questioning your ability since you can't pronounce large words.
The opening of the show. Yeah, exactly. I will tell you guys. Sepp Kuss today. Amazing. Wout.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he was crazy. He went to the front and just strung the peloton. That was crazy.
Is there anything that guy can't do?
No.
Maybe knit.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got into knitting yet, but
he needs a shed.
he needs a studio, like my wife.
He can time trial too. Remember, except for
fences.
Oh no, he's national Belgian champion. TT beat Campenarts.
So talk to me about the riders you guys picked, gentlemen. I, for example, am I picked Pavel Sivakov, and I'm really sorry to him. I'd like to apologize to him, and I would like to say that he is a victim of the Pat curse. So is Tish Benut, another rider I picked. Did you guys see his crash today where he said hello? He introduced his Cervelo to a guardrail.
No, it was a Ridley. No,
is it
it's
Cervelo?
a Ridley. Yeah, it's a Cervelo. You're right, Cervelo.
Yeah,
that's right, because he's on Sunweb now. My bad.
I think that's the second frame to get broken in half in this tour.
Yeah, Miguel Angel Lopez, the first day.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, that was that stage. Anyway, I suppose we're going to be touching base on that one.
We got we're jumping all over the place here, but that's okay. And I'm gonna come out and say that Primoz Roglic is my team leader. I'm gonna knock.
Echoes back.
And let it ring. Let it ring the knock. Because I don't want to fuck him over. That sprint today made me very happy. So other people, how are your riders doing? Anybody want to go? Paul, how are your riders doing?
I have Roglic also.
Okay.
Doing all right. I had Buchmann, who ended up losing a little bit of time. I'm not worried. He's banged up.
He's going to come back.
Yeah, I won't touch that. And then, of course, Sivakov.
You did pick Sivakov, too.
But he would be, in retrospect, when I look at it, anyway, we'll talk about today's stage, and then I'll put my bit in there. But that poor kid's hanging on by tooth and nail because he crashed at the Dauphiné a week before on his left side, crashes the first time on his right side, and then his second crash that day on stage one was back on his left side. How do you think that feels?
You just saw the spirit draining out of him.
That's what he said.
He was just miserable.
Yeah, he said that the second crash was like, why am I here?
Fuck bike racing.
Yeah. He throwed it just like Karate Kid.
Yeah,
he's looking for a dumpster.
Yeah,
he didn't have one, so he continued on.
I'm so glad that you guys remember my Karate Kid reference. Yes. Jackson, how are your riders doing?
The ones in my fantasy team are doing really well. I predicted 3 of the last 4 stage winners.
Fuck.
I have obviously Roglic as my team leader. Then I also have people like Alaphilippe, Caleb Ewan. I have Tadej Pogačar, and the person who I decided would get second this year, Bernal, surprised me today in how he could not stick, and he was on the full-on limit, I thought, when everyone was going for that final push. I was a little surprised to see his form like that.
That was I'm not going to disagree with you, because I was watching him on the rivets there as that sprint went off. I don't expect him to be a true sprinter, though, and it looked like the hill kind of flattened out, correct me if I'm wrong, right towards the tail end of the finish. But he looked like he was working really hard coming into the final 200 meters of that.
He died big time when somebody like that, he jumps on Roglic's wheel and then created a gap and looked over his shoulder and pulled out. Everybody's like, dude, who does that?
Holy shit.
Yeah. You don't do that.
Yeah.
But and if we touch base on that again, because there's my take on that. But it's Jackson's turn.
Oh, okay.
I will also say another person on my team, Sergio Higuita, who is 4th place right now. I was this close from picking Danny Martinez, but kind of happy I didn't. Unfortunately, he did fall yesterday.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Lost some time.
Okay. So you've got, and you are quite a bit up on me in the rankings, and I hate you for it again. No, just keep laughing it up, pal. Karsten, I don't even know. You talked to me about signing up for the entire fantasy league like a day after the tour started.
Right. Yeah, because I was busy with work, and I just didn't. It was month end, and I just didn't fucking do it. Sorry.
I think you can still do it. I think you can still sign up.
I couldn't figure out how to do it.
Oh.
I don't think you can.
No, you can't. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I mean, my top 3 were Roglic, Dumoulin, and Quintana. And Roglic, obviously, we got that one. Dumoulin got 11th today. And
I could have sworn there was a Van Avermaet in there.
That was
I
number
didn't
3.
pick him for top 3. I just brought him up as a
Should we go to the tape?
Yeah.
Should we go to the tape?
I didn't.
Jackson, did he pick Greg Van Avermaet as a potential tour winner?
I think there was at the end a loss of names going through the mind. So Greg Van Avermaet was the first that came to.
Yeah.
You were
we were trying to help him out, and we said Zacharin. He goes, no, Van Avermaet.
Yeah.
So Zacharin's their stage. Sorry, Karsten.
Okay, well, I didn't put him on the top 3. I know. I do think he's a dark horse, but I did pick Roglic, and I will say none of us really called. None of us, again, I'll say it again. None of us really did a good job of calling Alaphilippe for doing as well as he's done so far.
Jackson picked him.
For Jackson.
Jackson did pick him.
Yeah.
And the youth shall lead them. Because Jackson did pick him, and I think he's got him on his fantasy team. I didn't expect him to do, especially like today. The French keep saying things about like, hey, this guy's going to be a potential tour winner. And Alaphilippe, I'm going to sneeze.
Wow.
Alaphilippe keeps saying, no, I am not a tour winner. I'm not doing that. And then you watch him today on these kind of stages like this, and the guy is just cruising with him. I know he's probably not got. What's that?
I did call him as a stage winner for stage 2.
Yeah. You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How's the stock market going to do next year, Carson? Because I'm invested heavily in certain things, and I just need you to tell me what to do.
No, I'll tell you what to
do. All right. How about did we cover everybody in that aspect of the first question? Okay, the second question, I asked you guys earlier today to come up with your I called it, dude moment. That moment where you're sitting with your friends and you go, dude, I totally called that. I knew that was going to happen. It's that moment that something you only knew was truly going to happen. For example, I didn't say it out loud on the podcast, and I'm not pulling a Greg Van Avermaet kind of a moment here, but I truly am starting to think that I fuck up riders' careers. I think I have a superpower, and my superpower is to destroy riders. And one of my thoughts in my prediction was that Adam Yates was going to show some signs of strength. And I could have called it, but I didn't call it, so in other words, I'm full of shit. But that is my I called it dude moment. Anybody got one? Paul, you got an I called it moment?
That I didn't tell anybody, and
you could. Or you, fuck.
Like Dave and I are watching this, the tour and stuff. It was not prior to, but kind of prior to, in stage one when Astana was going against Tony Martin, and he's like flagging. And then, of course, in typical Astana style, like when somebody drops a chain, you attack, or what's another one that they've done, several times. They're notorious for stuff like that. So everybody calls a truce.
That was karma.
And it didn't matter if you were on rim brakes or disc brakes, which, by the way, they had disc brakes.
They did have discs.
Yes, they did. That's why he locked it up. You lock up, you're done. It doesn't matter what type of brakes. If you're locking it up and that. So Nice hasn't had rain for 2.5 months.
Shit.
And there's olive trees and the oil from cars, and the olive trees drop their stuff, and you put a little moisture on that, and it gets slickery as snot. So yeah, you can see, you can see his angle because everybody's going in the line. He's taking this strange line, and right before that, I'm thinking he's gonna miss this. I mean, there's that split second. I could just see it happen. That line is shit. And then he locked up. He panicked, too. He locked up the back wheel. And
that was one of those moments why people watch NASCAR, I think.
Yeah.
Because it was. I'm so glad he walked away from it. But that whole slide into that sign was just like, oh. When you saw him finally hit that sign, it was just, oh, my God. It looked horrific. But he rode away. He just got back.
Yeah, I think the speed actually started, it wasn't that bad. It's just that you've got an object that's not going to move that he hit.
Yeah.
There's inertia playing there. So,
yeah.
That was my dude. I would have said,
that Astana would do that.
No, well, I thought they're going to miss a corner.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as they hit that corner and I had that flash, I saw Lopez's angle. It was just like, that's bad, and he locked up that back brake, and I went, wow. Here we go. So,
Jackson or Karsten? Jackson, you got I called that, dude. I called that moment.
I do. Today after I finished my virtual class, I
called the fact that I'd be bored.
Yeah. But my girlfriend and I have been kind of watching the tour together, and she wasn't able to because she had quite a few classes today. And she walked in and she's like, "Who do you think is going to win the stage today?" And I looked at her and I said, "I really think Roglic is going to win, but I have a feeling it's probably not going to happen."
Wow. That we have proof of an I called it, dude.
Exactly. And then he went to win it. I even set him as my road captain today.
The first time you've been wrong, Jackson.
I know.
Now wait, you've been changing your road captain daily?
You can change your road captain.
Shit. I probably could have just experimented and figured that out, but I haven't been changing my road captain on my fantasy team. I've stuck with Roglic the whole time. Paul, you're just shaking your head.
Here's the only thing about that. I overthink everything. Look at the Packfiller Classic. I mean, I had to overanalyze. If I start getting into changing, I'll spend 12 hours a day just on. I can't do that. I can't. I've got to.
I sold Sivakov.
Jerk store.
Today.
I'm sticking with Jerk store.
I sold Sivakov today. I got rid of Sivakov on my fantasy team, and I wanted to give the guy a break. The guy deserves something better than being on my team. Karsten, did you have I called it moment?
Yeah, when fucking what's his name won the stage, little French dude.
Alaphilippe.
Alaphilippe, yeah. I don't know what it is about this podcast, but I always forget stuff. But yeah, Alaphilippe, I called that one. In fact, I think I even texted everybody. And there was a point there where I thought, maybe I called this wrong. Maybe he's not going to get it, but he got it. That was a great win.
Yeah. I was thinking in that when there's 3 up with Adam Yates was off the list, but Hershey is a fantastic. He's I think under 23 world champion at one.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So, and he's got a kick, but he cocked up that sprint. He cocked it up. If you look from the bird's eye view, he left a gap.
Yeah.
He grabbed some water at the wrong time, and then there was a gap, but he was coming full steam. He ran out of real estate, but that's how you learn. That's bike racing. So,
I'm sure that's what he took to bed that night.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I learned.
Well, I won't do that again.
Oh, damn it.
I should have listened to Dad.
Next time. Yeah, and Dad probably texted him.
Yeah.
I told you, don't
you
drink
stay
so
on
much.
his wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Jesus.
I wonder what Sean Yates is saying to Adam.
Oh, don't lead it out, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I think we're gonna see some more fireworks from Adam. I'm praying we're gonna see some more fireworks from him. How about a rider that surprised you? Did anybody have a rider that just was like, wow? For example, I'm gonna give you 2 examples. Number 1, Caleb Ewan. I've come on this podcast many times and said I don't necessarily like the dude, but I take that back. I just like I'm going to take back the fact that I said Athletic Brewing was not good beer. It's not good podcast beer, but it's good beer when you're just sitting there after a ride on the back deck looking at your Strava. And I've been having a couple here, and they're really low calorie and they taste good, and they're less than 0.5% alcohol. So there's a commercial for a company that doesn't even know me.
Do you drink decaf coffee too?
No.
I drink a lot of Athletic Brewing. It's
Do you?
Good shit. Yep.
It's got a time and a place, and I think and so anyway, I owe them an apology, just like I do Caleb Ewan. Watching that sprint, and the fact that he came back from and had to swerve his way around Peter Sagan to get to Bennett and not Bennett. Shit.
Yeah, Sam Bennett.
Yeah. What's that?
No, I was just agreeing.
Yeah. And to be able to pull that off and to have that much speed going into, holy shit. That guy was the rider that surprised me. And my other riders that surprised me are a lot of these attackers like Pierre Roland today, to see him going out and you're seeing confidence in riders that you haven't seen in a while. Mainly, I think it's because you don't have this one team, Ineos, that is completely controlling the peloton and completely shutting things down. Now, Jumbo-Visma can do that, but we have yet to see if that's going to be the case. So there's my riders that surprised me. We'll go backwards on this one. Who went last on the last question? Was it Karsten?
Mm-hmm.
Karsten, riders that surprised you.
Well, Richie Port hasn't broken anything yet, Pat.
I'm not talking about Richie Port. I'm not going to. No.
There's no reason to.
I'm not talking about it.
Nobody. We're only on stage 4. I'm surprised at how until today how little Jumbo has been acting like the dominant team. Today they seem to finally figure it out.
Yeah.
But it took them. I would have thought they'd had their shit together for the first 3 stages more than they did. But today they certainly figured stuff out.
That's
kind of a lame answer, but that's
no. I'll take it. Paul, who were you second, or was Jackson second?
No, it doesn't matter.
I don't care.
Jackson, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Rider that surprised you.
I think two people that surprised me. First today, I think this is how you say his name, Guillaume Martin.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. He surprised me today going off the front. I wasn't really. Kofidis.
Mm-hmm.
I was not really expecting him to be in the mix, even though I kind of did say it on our.
Yes, you did. Mm-hmm.
On our pre-race show. So I think that was kind of cool to see a Kofidis rider go off the front. I also was like I knew what Wout van Aert could do, but when he is like stringing out the peloton at an 8% grade, like I was surprised to see him there pushing that type of power out.
As I said earlier, is there anything this guy can't do? And where is the fact that he's been going for so long? I mean, well, not so long, but I mean to take something like, early, not early season, but to be rocking and rolling and ready to hit it right when you come into the season, Strada Bianca, and then to be there at Milan-San Remo and all this kind of stuff. It's like, holy shit. Is this the fountain of youth? I mean, is there something going on? No, never mind. I didn't mean that. I didn't say, is there something going on? I didn't say that. Shit. Did I cut you off, Jackson, or did you get all your riders that surprised you?
No, that was it.
Okay, Paulie.
Well, I have to agree with Jackson. Has done team. Everybody's like he could be challenging, and I think if the focus was the challenge on the green jersey, he would have it right now.
Yeah, without
a doubt. I don't think Sagan is firing on all cylinders, but the other part, I think every time I watch him race, I realize he understands. My opinion is he really understands bicycle racing. His duty for that race, the ego's not in place.
Yeah.
When Dumoulin went down, when he looked over his shoulder and Kwiatkowski swept his wheel and went down, he stopped.
Yeah.
Gave him a push, got him, make sure everything's going. I mean, that's not a kid with an ego. And then what he did today was phenomenal. I mean, it was a Cat 1, and you listen to all these riders, and even Barnell says that it was so bloody fast that, a lot of people I thought I was there. It was a big group, but most of it from his doing from the get-go. From before Sepp Kuss took over, it was his doing. He just poured on the gas. And the cool thing is when you see him pull off, he stopped crank. It was done.
Yeah.
I mean, he emptied the tank completely.
Absolute explosion.
So somebody that young, well, he's not really, he was 25, but racing in the Pro Tour this is his third season. He really gets it. I think he's an intelligent rider. Yeah, that's one. And then the other one on the negative side that surprised me is Carapaz. I just don't. Well, I don't know if we'll ever touch base on this, but Ineos has no riders on there right now. They don't have, and I've mentioned many times, Nico Portal. That was the anchor on that team as a director. They don't have Geraint Thomas. They don't have Froome. They don't have any leaders. They're all young guys, and Pavel Sivakov was going to be the launch man for Bernal. And you look at today's stage. I mean, he was dropped before the hill.
Launch. Yeah.
And then the other guys aren't there. They've lost, although he's not doing so well. He's at Bahrain.
Wout Poels.
Wout Poels. Yeah. So, it is early. We made a mention. Kind of going off on a tangent here.
Do it.
But in the when Carson was going, look at these guys. This is stage. What was it, 2? And I'm like, I don't like Jumbo putting so much effort into the race this early. There's nothing to gain. There's just, and it's the third week. You watch things are going to change. People start coming unwound at that point in time. And that's the scary part about Ineos. They know that. You look at Bernal last year, he was kind of what he was at today.
Yeah.
He was there, but he just didn't have the spark. And then you get to the third week, and it's not like a short, fast climb. That is not his specialty.
Yeah.
It's these long. I mean, there's going to be 4 days in a row of these alpine passes. It's going to punch everybody.
You're right. I think you're right, Paul. I think that Ineos is playing the long game. Who's the on the road director for them right now?
Yeah, so that's the thing. Who are you gonna? It probably, I would think, and I don't know if I'm probably wrong, but it would be Mikhail Kwiatkowski.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about in the car.
Oh, I don't know.
Brailsford himself.
See, Ellensworth is gone.
Yeah.
Right, and you got Portal. None of the on the road riders that have seasoned veteran. Geraint Thomas has been on every Tour de France winning team for Ineos. He's not there this year.
Holy shit.
So
I want to know who's in the car calling the shots, because I think that, the strategy, because they're generally the ones that are, calling the big picture strategy.
Yeah.
And, I think you're right, Paul. I think that they're just sitting back and waiting, because they're coming, some of the biggest climbing is until the last week.
That's
with
huge.
with that god awful super long time trial.
Yeah.
Everybody's they've got to be fresh for that.
Yeah. Okay. How about the holy shit moment? The moment of the race where you were completely, and I hope we can all probably agree on the same holy shit moment, that you were surprised, shocked, scared, or left in disbelief. And I'm going to throw it out there right now. Everything about stage 2, in my opinion, was a holy shit moment.
Whole stage. Yeah, absolutely.
Just the carnage. Paul,
nobody thought it was going to rain.
Yeah, I saw a tweet from Ian Boswell that says, I lived in Nice, and he says it never rains there, but when it does, it's like a skating rink. And holy shit, it almost looked like a junior race, like a beginning junior race, a beginning junior mountain bike race.
Are you referring to Carson sweeping the field in that Coeur d'Alene crit? Is that
10-point crit?
Yeah.
10-point crit. Yeah.
No comment. I don't remember that crash anyway, Carson. I don't think
you
I
were
was there.
conscious.
Like everybody else.
Does anybody have a holy shit moment that can top stage 2?
I think Tej Benoot trying to grind his bottom bracket on the railing, trying to do some tricks.
He was going full Tony Hawk.
He was. Hey, it's a grinding rail. Check this shit out. There goes my Cervelo. You know how fast they took that bike out of the picture?
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah. Jackson, you had something?
I was just like a comment on that is like the amount of frames that have just bit the dust of this race is insane. Like we've seen now two bikes just snap.
It's especially because I just want to buy one, or another. I guess we could say, yeah.
I will say though, I think my moment is probably on like the stage where Alaphilippe, where he won. The emotion that came out of him was pretty intense. I thought that was a pretty cool moment for him, especially after his father passing and everything. I could tell that was a really meaningful moment for him.
I'll give you that. I think that's a great one. That's a great holy shit, but good holy shit. Not the everything, the wheels are falling apart and everything looks like crap, but that was actually a good
Not
one.
A 2020.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, for once we have something in 2020 to be happily emotional about. How about any other kind of things among the favorites? For example, I'll just throw out some names. Well, we talked about Egan Bernal and Roglic. Tom Dumoulin, Peter Sagan, Nairo Quintana actually made an appearance at the front today. Thibaut Pinot, and things along those lines. Does anybody have any kind of comments or observations based upon any of those other riders or any other people involved? For example, Peter Sagan, is he fading or is just Peter's game consistency?
Peter Sagan is not a sprinter. He's not a classic sprinter. He's a guy that he's a green jersey winner. Big difference. I think he can stay consistent throughout the tour. I don't think he's fading. And
I think he is going to. I think he has a chance at keeping the green jersey the whole tour from now on. This is going to be his last one.
So there are two things about that. I think I very much do agree with Carson. I think now, I personally think that the green jersey race is coming to an end, unfortunately.
Already.
Yeah, I think that he's just a person who is, like Carson just said, he's consistent throughout. He's gonna at least gain some points on those intermediate sprints and on the final.
He'll get them throughout. Yeah.
Line. I was thinking about this today though on my ride that Sagan is only 30 years old. To put that in perspective, Roglic is 30 years old as well.
Shit.
So I think. I don't know if this is going to be his last one. I mean, he's
different discipline. I mean, look at it's pretty rare for a sprinter to keep their saw sharp that late. There's been a couple. Eric Zabel was one that stayed old and fast, but there's I don't
know why.
What's that?
We know why.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think if you're going to be, I think you can be well into your 30s and be a tour winner. But I don't know if sprinters keep that razor sharp edge that long.
A lot of them tend to shift that focus, which I think Peter Sagan has shifted that focus. He is more of that classics type of a mentality, but I think his consistency is always up there, especially when we come to some of these rolling mountain stages where guys like, Caleb Ewan are long in the path, long back behind in the Gruppetto, where Sagan is still up there kind of trying to get some points earlier on. So
Caleb Ewan's a sprinter pure and simple. So is Christoph. Those guys are sprinters.
Yeah.
They're not green jersey tour winners.
Yeah. Who's his biggest challenge? Anybody?
We're yet to see.
It seems like Trentin. Matteo Trentin.
Where's he sitting on points? I know he's been challenging on the mid, point systems in the race, but it looks like a lot of people are going. I don't know. I know that Bora Hansgrohe is not going to really work with him on that because they've got Buchmann who's in the top 10.
Yeah.
The GC's more of a focus. And they're leaning that way, too, for the future. I do believe Sagan's contract's into this year. I don't know.
Oh, shit.
So, and he's also, here's the thing, he's gone through quite a bit in the last couple of years on the personal basis, divorce and dealing with, a bunch of other things. I don't know, his heart may not be in it, but he's a clever enough guy that I think he doesn't have to win the sprints. He knows how he's calculating, the intermittent sprints.
Points along the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's all he has to do. And he's always challenging every single one. So I can see other teams just trying to keep his points down. As of today, I don't know how it ended today because I had to go to work.
He's still in green.
Yeah. But as of yesterday, he was only 2 points ahead in the green jersey.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I only see I saw somebody like a Sam Bennett maybe being a potential competitor, but I don't think it's once we get to these constant climbs, it's not going to happen.
I think if there's anybody going to challenge him, wait for it, Karsten. Could be somebody like Greg Van Avermaet. Yeah.
I'm looking at the green jersey general ranking right now. It's Sagan, and then Sam Bennett, and then Christoph. Trentin is fourth.
So Trentin could be
Trentin's
that.
in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in there.
Nizzolo's
Jackson's
fifth.
right.
Caleb Ewan's sixth.
No, Caleb.
No, we're only 4 days in, but I know it's fun to predict. I like to predict. I think there we go. So how about any concepts for riders you picked that you're really not confident with? Does anybody have anybody who's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have picked that, other than Sivakov?
Other than
Greg Van Avermaet.
Greg Van Avermaet. Yeah, we got you. He confesses. The truth is known.
Yeah.
Jackson, Mr. Perfect Teams every year. He's Bolger Boys on the fantasy league. If you're involved in that one with us, he's always like 2 places ahead of me, which always pisses me off. Any riders you chose that you're like,
It is the first 4 days. Davide Formolo is somebody who hasn't really lit anything up so far. So I think one day he might go for a breakaway stage or be helping Pogačar, but at the moment, it doesn't seem like he's going out and lighting the race on fire yet.
Those aren't necessarily bad picks, though. I tend to pick a lot of people who are on, Sepp Kuss kind of people who are not going to necessarily be up there in the stage finishes. They're great riders, but they're going to completely blow it all apart trying to make everything happen for a guy like Roglic. So, but that's not a bad choice. I don't think that's a bad choice at all.
Yeah, Formulos and Thomas de Gent and all those guys.
Yeah.
They have to lose major time and make sure that the GC people aren't going to chase down. They don't want a Thomas de Gent or a Alaphilippe anymore to get 4, 5, 6 minutes up on a breakaway, and that's how that works. So towards the end of week 2, you're going to see breakaways. You'll see Formulo and you'll see Gents and de Gents, and I think you're on the right path. I would never let that guy go. He's hot.
No.
Mm-hmm.
So has anybody readjusted their top podium in Paris yet?
Oh, can we?
I think now you can just say what you think is going to happen. It's not your actual bet, but you can say, okay, I originally had Bernal, Roglic, and whoever, whatever other rider, Van Avermaet, something like that. Does anybody want to tweak their predictions, even though you technically can't, after what we've seen after 4 days?
I'm sticking with the hand that I dealt myself. I like my Roglic, Bernal, Pogačar podium so far.
That's not a bad podium. Karsten?
I like my podium. I like Dumoulin, Roglic, and Quintana.
I turned the camera to me for that one, so everybody can see that you picked Van Avermaet.
Okay.
You did. People listening on their headphones are having to turn the volume up, but I'm going to just that little voice in the back of their head. Karsten picked Van Avermaet. Paul, you got any tweaks?
Well, yeah. Sivakov is obviously not going to be there, so I'm kicking him to the curb.
Yeah,
and I will bring up Bernal. He'll be on the podium, and I had Bookman. I think I want to keep it just for the heart, not the head. If I play the head card, I think Dumoulin he made a comment in Dutch newspaper that I thought was kind of interesting, that after today's stage, he's like very frustrated that he finished with Roglic at the same time and everything, but he says, that was hard. So this is a guy who hasn't raced for a while.
Yeah.
You wait till the third week. Now he needs that gradual, not attack. I mean, that's how he won the Giro. He kept his head. I think he has that potential. That TT 6-kilometer climb in the middle of a 36-kilometer TT.
All about that TT.
Yeah, I think that he could, if he's in the striking position, he could probably work his way into the podium. So I'll go with 2 Jumbo.
Yeah. TT has the potential to be a 1989 Tour. I mean, it could be decisive.
That TT.
That TT.
Wow,
that would be exciting.
That would.
Mm-hmm.
And it hadn't been too shabby up to this point, so I guess we could say that. All right, gentlemen, that's our tour discussion. But I'm gonna take you out on a fun little topic here before we finish. But before I take you out, I want to let you know that 2020's been the year of things happening that are completely out of control. But there's one thing you control, and that's the shaving of your bush. Our sponsors at Manscaped are here to remind you to do so. And if you don't know, they sell more than just stuff that you can shave your
Nuthers.
Yeah. If you haven't checked it out, the Shears 2.0 is a luxury 4-piece nail kit nail kit featuring tempered stainless steel tools. Includes tip tweezers, rounded point scissors, fingernail clippers, and a medium grit nail file. I shit you not. And I have the nail tweezers, and they work really well. You don't have to grab a hold and pull a nail, rip a nail off like a lot of us dipshit guys do. The 2.0 nail kit allows you to pluck your eyebrows and trim with your nails in style. Does anybody pluck their eyebrows? Any of you guys?
I have to.
You do?
I grow a horn like a rhino if I don't.
Jackson and Karsten.
That's what I do.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Really?
I don't want it. I don't necessarily strive for the unibrow life.
Okay. Wow.
I gotta look into that.
I gotta start paying attention.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm the
So that's
gross
not
guy.
your glasses that connect your...
No,
Oh,
I'm not
gee.
wearing glasses.
Hairy bastard.
Yeah. Listeners of the show are going to get 20% off and free shipping. Use the code PFP, Packfiller Podcast at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using code PFP. Time to grab 2020 by the horns by shaving that front trunk or shaving that front face, that horn coming out of your forehead at this current given point in time. There we go. All right, so guys, I want to ask you guys, just kind of fun topic, people who aren't completely obsessed with the Tour de France, about what I like to call rule breaking moments. Okay, let's admit it here. Sometimes you change things up when nobody's looking. All right, we know about the rules. We know about the Veluminati rules. We know also, hopefully, by listening to this show, that those rules are not set in stone. They're meant to be kind of like the Ten Commandments, guidelines, and things like that. Okay, although they are good advice. So let me ask you, for example, are there any general rules that you tend to not follow? And I'm going to give you the first example. I don't ride with headphones. I used to in the 80s. I used to remember going out and loading my jersey pockets with like 5 or 6 cassette tapes because I knew I was going to be out on a super long ride, and I would honestly switch tapes in my. It wasn't a Walkman because I couldn't afford a Walkman, but I would change tapes on my ride and listen to music constantly on my ride. And then at some point in time, I think I got along the mentality that like, oh shit, this is dangerous. I probably shouldn't do it. So there's a rule, an unwritten rule that I follow. Does anybody, for example, what are your thoughts on riding with headphones? That's my first rule.
All the time. I don't not ride with headphones. I don't ride without headphones.
Really, you ride constantly with them?
Yeah, I can't get through a road ride, especially without music.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
When I'm riding by myself, I have headphones. I think it's if I see somebody in a group with that, I'll flick them on the forehead with a dead finger.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense in a group. But if you're alone, for sure.
Yeah, that's the only way. Yeah, I mean you're out for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
To me, and it helps. I don't have it blasting. I can hear. I get it to the volume where I can hear cars coming up. And I have the sixth sense.
Yeah.
I see dead people.
I hear automobiles. I pick Greg Van Avermaet. Slytherin will win. Oh, that actually hurt my throat.
But it was good. It was worth it.
It was worth it. It was worth it. Really, you guys do. Jackson, do you ride with headphones? Have you ever?
I've never done it. No, as somebody who right now lives in a pretty busy city, with a lot of traffic, I very much go against it here. I don't know if I'm personally that type of person that does. Sometimes, well, actually, I know for a fact that I'm a person that gets distracted very easily. So when I'm on, exactly.
Squirrel.
Do the same thing. But when I honestly like that, when I'm on a ride, I can just entertain myself. I see new things all the time, and my head goes right to that. So there's something that kind of helps me there. But also when I get too warm, or like if I start to sweat, I can feel the heartbeat in my ears.
Yeah.
So then I have to take my headphones out because then that's all I can hear. It's almost like it's like
wow,
showing me like, you can hear your heartbeat. You can hear your heartbeat. And so I have to get that out.
Can you hear the heartbeat? I don't know the rest of the words. But.
I'll take it a little farther. When I'm riding Zwift,
Zwift, I have to do headphones. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's even more specific. I can't listen to new music on Zwift. I gotta listen to. It's either Lucinda Williams live.
Wow.
Some Lucinda Williams live music, or the Counting Crows live. Some kind of live.
Jesus
music.
Christ, you're old, and you listen to mellow music when you're on Zwift.
Oh, that's not mellow.
Lucinda Williams? Counting Crows?
No. Sorry, the Black Crows.
Black Crows.
Oh, there
Round here.
No, I said Black
Sha
Crows.
la 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 la.
Live. Allman Brothers, like
Mr. Hagen and me. Sorry, I'm running with a joke. I had to.
God, and I haven't made fun of your pedophile mustache once.
Oh.
Hey, this fucker's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's a beard stash. It's a beard stash.
Anyway, no, I got it's got to be very specific playlist. Otherwise, I can't get through a Zwift podcast.
Yeah, no, I understand. I Zwift ride. No, I understand. I do actually find myself books on tape and stuff like not books on tape. Audible. I do that when I'm on Zwift and things like that.
Well, wait. Are you guys saying that the background music in Zwift is not entertainable? What?
Right on.
Yeah. No,
right.
I went through. I read all of Phil Guyman's books this year on Zwift.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh wow, Karsten's got an opinion on that one.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't ridden. Has anybody tried? Speaking of, even though it's not rule breaking, but the bone induction headphones. If you guys even know what I'm talking about.
Where do you put it?
It's.
You said bone induction.
I forgot I work with children.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, they're headphones that vibrate the inner ear, and you can still hear what's going on outside, and you're not necessarily at a risk of getting run over.
I don't. I have that sixth sense. I see.
There's a semi coming up your ass. Okay, other rule breaks. Has anybody ever mixed up their kit? Clashing shorts and jerseys. Karsten's nodding. Karsten is nodding.
Nodding yes or no?
I did it yesterday.
You were on a mountain bike, I hope.
No. That's pretty common on a mountain bike for me, actually.
Yeah.
Really?
No, I had some Quarry shorts and an Essos jersey on, and that was. I didn't even realize it until I was out riding, but I actually had that thought, like, "Wow, I'm mixed up here."
Yeah. I can't claim anything because Frank from Velminati gave me shit when we rode in Seattle. I had the Packfiller kit on, but I had a blue helmet, and he gave me shit about it, but in a gentle way.
Yeah.
What kind of helmet was that, Pat?
It was giant, and that was a good helmet. Speaking of which, Karsten, that helmet has been delivered to our winner in the Packfiller Classic. And he sent a picture of it, and that fucking thing is gorgeous. It's like it changes colors as you turn the damn thing.
Yeah, chameleon. It's really cool looking.
Yeah, it's a beautiful helmet. It is a beautiful helmet. Jackson, Paul, anybody break the rule of fucking with your kit? No, Paul never does.
I do.
You do?
Yeah, if I really have to ride and I forgot to clean a jersey that matches the shorts, so it not very often. I try and stay on top of that.
Jackson, do you mix it up?
See, so I was thinking about something the other day that out of all of my years, I have not owned a piece of cycling clothing that isn't Packfiller kit.
Go figure. Who pays your bills?
That's my boy. That's my boy.
So I can't really, it's pretty impossible for me to not have the same kit all the time.
I'm also at the point where I think I need to mix it up a little bit. I love the Packfiller kits, but I also think we need something that maybe, we don't need a new team kit next year, but maybe something that's a little bit more subtle. Not so road cycling, rolling billboard. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I guess it is.
Okay.
Just you.
Matt dead silence for that. So we are at an hour and 7 minutes into the podcast, so I'm going to make this go a little rapid fire on terms of rule breakers, okay? And some of them aren't really rule breakers, but I just want to know from everybody. Paul's going to start this one. White shoes for road, yes, no,
Yes.
or yes, definitely yes. Jackson?
Oh yeah.
Karsten?
Sure, why not?
See, I have black shoes.
I've
My
had
road
white
shoes
shoes.
are black.
Black-
You do too? Karsten?
I've had white shoes. I've had black shoes. I've had blue shoes. I've had red shoes.
Yeah.
What does Berto ride with?
White shoes.
There we go. There's the
Yep.
fashion statement right there.
There it is.
Mhm.
There it is. Do you pay attention to the placement of your glasses, Paul Main?
I don't wear them.
He doesn't wear glasses. Jackson Bulger, do you pay attention to the placement of your glasses? Temples, meaning outside of the helmet straps.
I have had this embedded into me, so yes, I have it over my helmet straps.
Good man.
I'm really sorry about that. Karsten Hagen, do you put the temples of your glasses outside or inside your helmets? And do you give a shit?
No, they go on the outside of the straps, but inevitably they get stuffed up into my helmet 20 minutes into the ride every time because I sweat so much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, it happens.
I've been dealing with a lot of sweat issues. I'm the same way, but they always go on the outside of the straps for me. Do you pay attention? Oh, that's the one I already read. Saddlebags to hold, spare tube, shit like that behind the saddle.
Never.
Just little one.
Never.
Paul says no. Jackson.
I don't own one, but I would definitely do it.
He is. The kids are going to this thing nowadays where it's
Yeah,
cool.
and they're starting
It's
to
hip.
bring the butt pack back
Yep.
too. You know.
Yep.
Fanny-
Yeah, the fanny pack. Karsten, saddlebag,
Jersey pocket.
jersey pocket.
No pocket.
Good man.
The riding of current pro team jerseys. Paul Main.
That's a negative.
That's a negative. Jackson Bulger, current pro teams.
I don't own one, but if you're out wearing a jersey, I'd rather you be out than not at all.
Oh,
well,
see,
geez.
he pulled that
God
card.
damn it! Now I look like an asshole.
Yeah, now we're pricks.
Well,
we're,
I am
we're
an
elitist,
asshole, but-
roadie
yeah.
assholes. Thanks, Jackson. You fucked it up for the rest
Jesus.
of us. Karsten, now you can redeem yourself.
It's no way. It's actually the ultimate faux pas
Yeah.
is to wear a pro kit.
I thought you were going to say unless it's CCC.
I won't even wear that.
Yeah, I know.
I like the orange though.
I like the orange.
Leg hair. Is there a certain time when you're like, I'm so embarrassed I won't go out and ride because my leg hair is so bad? Paul Main.
Just never let it grow out.
Never let it grow out. You're that on top of it because you manscape.
That's right.
See how I pulled that back?
Yeah. Thank you.
Jackson Bulger, leg hair.
I used to ride with leg hair, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But I shave my legs currently.
Yeah. See, kids are just so much more relaxed.
I know.
The new generation is going to make it so much better. There's not going to be any elitists. There's not going to be any of this shit. The kids are just going to bring us all together in harmony. Karsten.
Shit, I haven't had leg hair since I was 15. Paul's right. Just never let it grow out.
Yeah.
I get lazy. I do get lazy sometimes and let it get a little shaggy. How about training with a number on, riding with an actual number from the previous weekend's race?
Never.
Paul.
Absolutely. That's the biggest faux pas of all those.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are such fucking roadies.
Don't do it.
Jackson Bulger, would you train with the previous weekend's number on?
I probably would remove it because I'm not racing that day.
Okay. Good. Thank God. Karsten?
Fuck no.
That was straight to the point.
Would you ever ride sleeveless? Paul Main.
I must confess I had in the past.
Yeah.
But never again.
I did it because Sean Yates did it. He
Yeah, I
looked
know.
Really cool.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll switch. Karsten Hagen, would you ride sleeveless?
I have one sleeveless jersey, and I wear it on super hot days sometimes. Every once in a while, I'll wear it a couple times a year.
Mountain biking, right?
No, road.
I can't talk
I've
to you.
even worn it on a Tuesday night ride.
Friendship's over.
Yeah.
Jackson Bulger, would you ride sleeveless?
No, I got to cultivate those tan lines.
Good man. Razor sharp.
I'm getting down to the wire. I've got two left. When are aero bars acceptable? Paul Main.
You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Definitely in a non-Mercs TT and adventure biking or a long gravel race like Dirty Kansas. I think there is a purpose.
I'm switching cameras because Jackson has his hands on his face.
I'm telling you, there is if you're on the bike for over 6 hours, you need that position.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. But you better not be going in that position in a pack. You better be by yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, so he's saying solo. Jackson, I'm going back to you. Tell me your thoughts on this Aero Bar comment. Do we have some elitism coming through in the younger generation?
We might find a chink in his armor.
I will say, you guys know me, I'm super cool on like everything else, but gravel, like, I don't know what it is, but aero bars on gravel bikes is just not a thing that I really love. I get the purpose of it, and if you're going to do it, good on you, but that's just not something that I really like the aesthetics of.
I'm going to ask you that we should ask you the same question when you do Dirty Kansas or any gravel ride that's beyond like 8 hours. You might change your mind.
I did Leadville on a mountain bike in 12 hours.
That's a fucking mountain bike. Who cares?
At the point that I'm thinking of, though, if it's that long, I'm just going to change my tires. I'm going to get big old fat tires so it's cushioned.
Karsten Hagen, aero bars.
The only place and time for aero bars is on a TT bike in a time trial. But there's a caveat to this. I really wish that they would bring back
Spinacci. That goes against
you guys both said Spinacci's at the very same time.
I knew where he was going.
Yeah,
we're both old, but I mean, and it'd be hard to do it on some of the profiles of some road bars now. They tend to be flat on top,
and carbon.
Yeah.
But God, I miss those. I used to use those.
I've got a set.
All the time.
I just angled my arms. I've
got a set in the shop right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with them. I mean, the bar diameter has changed, so they won't fit on anything.
You might as well put them in a box with a display.
Just up on the wall somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Along with all the other.
What the fuck is that?
The bottom line is I like the idea of them. They weren't a full aero bar. You could put your hands out there. It was just like another place to put your hands.
Yeah.
And because often, like if you're in a break, and your position allows it, you can drape your forearms over the tops and ride like that for a while.
Paul does that.
It's something you want to do, and they don't look dorky like aero clip-ons.
Yeah,
they served a purpose. I will never say that those Scott
drop-ins.
God, I had a pair of those. Oh my God.
You drank the Le Mans Kool-Aid then.
I have a pair of those in the other room too.
Yeah, I never ever.
I can't get rid of them.
Had no
interest. They're classic.
That too should be hung on the wall.
They're classic. What new trend? Last question. What new trend do you think is cool but might be seen as not? For example, I know a lot of roadies out there, and I know a lot of roadies are uptight. I'm actually becoming a potential interest in bike packing, in doing these overnight, these multiple night bike packing trips. And I know the roadies out there are going, oh God, man, just take your credit card and get a hotel room. Actually, that's wrong dialect. So I should go, just take your credit card and buy a hotel room, you freaking moron. But what trends do you think that are coming up that you think is potentially cool but might not be seen? Or vice versa. For example, you might think Everesting is absolutely fucking stupid. Paul Main.
Oh, you threw me.
Yeah, you're the first. I'm throwing you first.
I don't see any trends, to be honest with you, that I think
are cool.
Yeah, cool. I just, if people want to do like your stupid thing without using a credit card, the only way I'd go across country is credit card. I hate camping.
Really?
None of that appeals to me, but it doesn't mean that it's stupid. I don't think it's stupid, but I'd say gravel racing, but not to the point where it's starting to go. gravitate towards. Single track mountain bikes, basically with drop bars.
Yeah.
That's
you see a lot of trends where it's like what John Tomac did for a while ago. He's just like, I just race mountain bike on drop bars.
Yeah.
But okay, no, I can see that.
Yeah, that trend needs to go away. It is what it is.
Jackson, a trend that you might secretly think is cool or opposite.
I think I do agree with you. I do have that interest in bike packing. I've been thinking about buying myself a handlebar bag. Yeah, I know. I'll do it. And I also think on those same lines, I personally think that I know people have said one bike to do it all is something that is impossible. Yeah. I think we are gravitating towards that a little bit. I think there is such thing that can do it. I think Open right now has a bike called the Mind. Yep. And that is something that is a fast road bike, but it can also accommodate for these big tires. And I think, and we're seeing a lot of bike brands do this. Trek did this.
Yeah.
We did it.
Yeah, exactly. Giant did it with their TCR, and all of this is the way things are going. It seems like not compatibility, but comfort is going to be a big thing now.
I tried to keep the camera on Paul as often as much here because his facial expressions were just like he was contorting his face with denial.
Well, he's correct to a point. I mean, because I'm at that less than 1% that only wants to do one thing.
Yeah.
If not everybody wants to race and stuff, and I think of our good friend Justin Short, that guy.
Yeah.
That guy, right? He could ride me under the table easy. That guy's amazing. But that's not the type of riding that I personally like.
Yeah.
I admire that. But one bike, if you're going down Mount Spokane.
Oh, here it is.
There's a choice. You have a choice. If you're going up it, there's a choice.
Yeah.
The things that I like to do, there isn't a quiver killer. I just don't believe it. If I race on a gravel race ever, it'll be on a gravel bike, one that's designed for that, not something with a 67-degree head tube angle and straight bars and where they're going right now. I think you have to have. Well, look at mountain bikes, enduro bikes. You have downhill bikes. You have cross-country bikes. There isn't a quiver.
Yeah,
I don't believe that.
Carson Hagen, Jackson, I'm not against your statement though. I think if we generalize, there will be a bike. There can be a bike that can do it all.
I agree with that.
You can race a crit on a gravel bike with the right size wheels and things like that. Is it going to be as quick as a dialed in road bike? Probably not. But
I don't know. I think and Carson could probably attest to this, but I think we're on the verge there.
Okay, so I'll weigh in.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're going to see a true quiver killer in that. That would sort of be counterproductive.
For a bicycle business
livelihood. But I will say that Jackson kind of nailed something in that. I think the aero bike is going to go away, and
the aero bike,
yeah, the aero bike is going to go away, and I'll sort of back that up by saying the new version of the TCR, the new version of the Madone, the new version of the Tarmac, they all incorporate a lot of aero bike things that we have learned from aero bikes have been incorporated into traditional road bikes.
Yeah.
If you look at, for example, the new TCR, a bike I know very well, there's design elements in that thing that we have all the bike companies have learned from creating aero bikes, but we built a bike that's almost a pound lighter than the current TCR, and it's much faster aerodynamically.
Wow.
Meanwhile, you can go buy an aero bike if you want from any brand, and certainly is faster in a wind tunnel. But in reality, for everyday riding, you're going to want a bike that incorporates all that stuff. So I think the aero bike is going to go away.
I agree, and I think Specialized, you can see what they're doing with their Tarmac, and their Venge is probably going to go away. The problem with aero bikes is, in order to get an aero, there's no compliance, and it beats the shit out of. It's that that is more narrow. That is almost a TT bike for the road, and it doesn't always fit the picture when you're riding. What Giant's done with their new version of it's the TCR, right? That and Specialized has done. I think we're gravitating for road bike purposes, something more aero than the traditional road bike, but with way more compliance from aero bike. If that makes sense.
That's absolutely what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see, you'll probably see fewer choices in gravel bikes because there just doesn't need to be that many.
Yeah.
There have been some ridiculous iterations of gravel bikes. I think
Evil's versions of. Have you seen those things?
Evils. I've seen their gravel bike. I don't know.
We're jumping the ship. Anyway, Karsten, and this is a whole entire another topic that we could do a whole show on this. Realize needs to be a whole new show. Karsten, a trend that you think might be overhyped but you think is cool, or that might be you see cool but is overhyped. I think you almost said it with aero bikes there, but
that was sort of my contribution to that discussion.
Yeah.
However, I will add that I'm going to be Everesting in mid-October. Hopefully I'll make it. One of the guys that works for me has done it twice now. And we're going to be, we actually have some backing from our employer.
Wow.
And we're raising money this is my little plug. We're raising money for November for prostate cancer research.
Oh, nice.
Holy shit, dude.
As a 2-time prostate cancer survivor, I'm all in. It's one of the reasons I'm losing all this weight and riding a lot. But as far as a trend goes, I hope I make it. And I'm really glad a lot of people are doing it. Do I think people are going to be Everesting in 5-6 years? I don't know. Who knows? I mean, but all I know is I'm doing one, and I'm excited about it.
Dude, okay, I'm gonna want some sort of a report from that entire effort.
Oh, it'll be heavily covered.
Good. Okay, good on you, man. That's awesome.
I have a question. Where are you gonna attempt this?
We're doing. Oh my God!
Bachelor?
So we're doing this in Livermore, California, and it's not a big long grade. It's a pretty short climb, so we'll end up doing it a bunch of times, up to basically it goes from Mines Road up to Del Valle Regional Park, and it's I forget, maybe it's a 2-mile climb. So we're gonna end up doing it I forget how many times it took Mike to do it last year, but it'll be multiple times of this thing.
Yeah.
I think we decided you could do Mount Spokane if you did it 10 times.
No thanks.
No. Yeah.
I don't know if the answer is to do it on a long climb because you get that long descent to freeze up and get all that poison built up in your legs.
Yeah.
And you're not climbing. You've lost time climbing.
Yeah. No, I agree. Wow. Okay, you guys, we're 4 days into our Tour de France, and we've got to figure out where this is all going to go, right? And I guess we could all decide that our personal picks are going to make everything magically happen. My personal picks, I'm keeping quiet. I'm keeping that close to my chest because I don't want to jinx the riders. But I do have riders like World Glitch that I think is going to do really well. So hopefully we'll see as exciting bike racing as we've seen this week, and we can go from there. Does anybody have any lasting final comments or predictions you think are going to happen within the next 7 days? Jackson nods his head. Karsten nods his head.
Somebody's going to win a stage.
There we go.
Wow.
I think we should just leave with that one, right? That is actually the prognostication of all prognosticators. And I kind of finished with kind of big words, didn't I? Prognostication and prognosticators, and I said them without saying That is another episode of the Packfiller Podcast. Like, subscribe, and do all those sorts of things. Watch bike races. Go out there and ride your bike. If you do it with headphones, fucking be careful, please. There we go. Thanks, you guys. People. Hi, Greg Van Haverman.